the better side of the state. That's the Seattle liberals that we're constantly trying to fight against. So thank you very much, fellow conservatives and Oregonians. Russ Walker wanted me to touch on a couple issues on how to outreach to younger people. And one of the issues that Russ Walker and I talked about is media. Where do young people, my generation or younger, normally get their news? And you're right. Look, we have to face the facts.
Say what you said.
Yeah, we have to face the fact. Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert, are news sources that younger people trust more than they do Fox News or CNN. That's just a fact. And we have to, I think, if we're as conservatives, if we want to get the young people more involved in the conservative movement, we have to embrace that. Okay? And one of the reasons why younger people my generation, from what I can tell from people I hang out with and have fun with, is they feel like there's an agenda from the establishment media. It's about brainwashing. You listen to Jon Stewart, you listen to Stephen Colbert. What do you agree with them or not? A lot of young people my age, don't necessarily agree with Jon Stewart or Stephen Colbert. Okay, but those guys have no qualms about exposing media for their hypocrisy. And a lot of young people are very suspicious of the establishment media because they see an agenda. They feel like they see an agenda. I mean, they feel like, why is it that I have to believe, say Obamacare, for example, is the best way to go? There are a lot of people who are not so sure about Obamacare. Yet they feel like the other side doesn't really have a good counter to that right now. So the younger people feel like they have a choice, other than maybe feel like, well, maybe Obamacare is the best way to go because the Republican side doesn't really have a true counter to that. So we have to look into that. We have to see what it is about the younger people. What it is, that we can bring up conservatives to be true. Mr. Rob Logan was saying that there's really no difference from those two parties. Younger people don't see much of a difference right now between the two sides. For example, Republicans love to preach about lower taxes, less spending. Is that true? Okay. Unfortunately, a lot of young people look at the Republican Party and say, wait a minute, Republicans want to talk about less spending, but yet they spend trillions and trillions of dollars. Look at the Bush administration for 8 years. Look at all the spending that was done for 8 years. I voted for George W. Bush both times. I voted for John McCain. Yet John McCain voted to support the bailout. Young people don't understand the consistency with that. I don't know. I can't answer for you. But that's what the young people see. That's what people my generation see. Another thing I think that the Republican Party or the conservatives do themselves a favor in with the young people is that younger people do feel like the Republican Party or conservatives are religious bigots. I think that's a fact. I'm sorry. I mean, that's a fact we have to embrace. I'm a religious person myself. When I go to Portland, I attend the Eastside Church of Christ off of Gleason Street. They're in Portland. Come check it out. There's people there that I love. But at the same time, we cannot come across as people who want to force our values onto them. We do that, we will lose young people right away. That's just a fact. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have your beliefs, you shouldn't have your convictions. I'm not saying you should stand on them and fight for them. Young people respect that. What they do not respect is saying that if you're a pro-life person and you tell a young person she can't have an abortion no matter what, a lot of the college-age people will tune you out. Whether we think pro-life or whether we think abortion is wrong or not. We cannot believe as conservatives in government mandates for morality. I don't believe in moral legislation. I believe the best way to spread morals and values and win the hearts and minds of younger people is through our actions as individuals. I am pro-life, I'm religious, but I try to walk the walk. I'm not perfect, you know, but people, my friends respect me. You know, I don't even drink. You know, I will go to, you know, house parties where there's a lot of drinking involved, and people see that, you know, even though he's around a lot of drinkers, he's not condemning us, you know, and he's walking the walk. You know, he's not drinking, but he's still trying to have a good time, having fun with us, and he's not judging us, you know. And they respect that. They if Republicans will walk the walk, you know, and I hate to say it, I may be a little redundant on this walk the walk issue, but people my generation don't see that from the Republican Party, and that's the reality we have to embrace. We have to work with that, whether we like it or not. I'm sick and tired as a younger Republican, I'm a registered Republican, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not as proud of Republican as I used to be. I understand we have this whole idea of uniting behind the party, but we also have to understand young people don't see anything sacred about the name Republican. They don't understand what's so sacred about it. They don't really see anything sacred about the Democratic Party either. But if you go to college campuses and ask, is it cool to be a Republican? You're going to get a resounding no. If you ask, is it cool to be a Democrat? You might get some yeses, but they don't really think that it's really cool to be a Democrat. They just think that it's better to be a Democrat because they feel like they've got nowhere else to go. They feel like the Republican Party is not welcoming and dismissive. You know, a lot of young people, 21, 22-year-olds, will bring up an idea that may not be as conventional to the Republican platform. They feel like they get dissed on. They feel people dismiss them. So they don't feel welcome. So Democrats will eat that up. If you're a young person and you bring up some ideas that may be a little off the wall or unconventional, I'll say, Democrats will eat that up. And we're going to lose elections. We're going to continue to lose elections. I don't like our current president. And I don't like the prospect of Hillary Clinton, your next president. But I have to say that if we do not figure out what it is about the Republican Party in terms of being religious bigots, being inconsistent in our spending, then that prospect of Hillary Clinton may be real. I hate to say it. Another thing that I touched on earlier is about the internet. One thing that's going on right now, that has been going on right now, is internet regulation. You know, I know there's some state representatives here in the state of Oregon, and one thing I urge and ask you representatives here in Oregon, even though I'm not a Oregon resident of Washington, I urge you representatives here to fight for internet freedom. If you're a legislator right now and you have fought for internet freedom, thank you, and please let the young community know that as a representative, you have been fighting for internet freedom and you will not stand for internet regulation. And the young people will flock to you. If you truly stand for internet freedom, they will flock to you. They will give you young people like myself who have short attention spans will give you their time. You know, I said earlier that I'm not as proud Republican as I used to be. It's not saying that I am going to vote for Democrats now. I cannot stand the Democratic platform. I cannot stand socialism. I'm a true believer in free markets, and I think a lot of young people will be open to that idea if we talk about why free markets is the best policy in terms of helping poor people. If we know how to explain that, because young people, that's another issue that young people are concerned with, is what do you do with the poor? What do you do when I graduate from college, I get stuck with a minimum wage job? A lot of young people feel like the best solution right now is to keep raising the minimum wage. I don't believe in that. But we have to be detailed in explaining why free markets work. Why free markets only help poor people, not just the rich. You know, even John Stewart will have that wrong. And even the young people of my generation are suspicious of whether or not socialism will work. Because we see what's going on now. You know, not all young people are just young and dumb, stupid, just want to have sex all the time. I'm sorry.
Hey Al, I have one more minute.
Okay. Thank you. I appreciate it, guys, for you guys giving me your time and listening. I hope, you know, I haven't had a chance to, you know, really touch everything I want to, you know, but I realize time is limited. Thank you very much. I hope you guys listen and take to heart what I just said, not because it's coming from me, but because I'm online a lot, and I said earlier that I'm a YouTube junkie. I read a lot of what people on YouTube comment about. Yes, there are people who have ignorant comments to say, okay? But that's everywhere. So, you know, again, thank you for your time. I hope I hope the Conservative Party, the Conservatives, will take Oregon someday, because I don't think since I've been alive, the Democrats have controlled the state of Oregon and Washington. One last thing I do want to say, Russ, is that 2 months ago, I was at the Washington State Republican Party reorganization meeting in London, and Kirby Glover, some of you may know, is the chairman of the Republican Party up there. He just recently got reelected to be the chair. And his speech, I'll be honest with you, and I'm sorry if you're friends with Kirby Glover, but his speech, I will say, was not very welcoming to young people, especially young people who might want to know more about the Republican Party state of Washington. He ended his speech by saying, you know, a bad Republican is always better than a good Democrat. A young 20-some-odd-year-old college individual, if he walks into that room hearing that, they will turn right around and run away. And they want to know where the Democratic Party stands. We cannot say that you're with us or against us. You know, if we keep on that attitude, we will turn off a lot of young people, and then you know, then we can just say, well, we have to wait till they just grow up. And while we keep waiting for young people my age to grow up, Democrats are winning elections. And that scares me, and the prospect of Hillary Clinton scares me as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Al.